Please, Malcolm, champagne. It seemed interminable.
Did I nod off, or did they do one bit twice?
Gordy, darling. Are you going to the do after? Gordy looks well.
Do you think so? I was thinking how old he looked.
Ah, how old is he?
Late 30s?
Oh, well, in that case, he looks simply dreadful.
Hello, Malcolm. Oh, thanks for the tickets, Max. This is my Nan. Oh. Nan, this is Maxine Chandler, and this is Malcolm Park.
Hello.
How do you do? I'm very pleased to meet you. You look just like your face.
How reassuring.
She's seen everything you've done.
Well, most of them. I loved you in that Scottish one, Prince of the Glen. It was only a shilling in those days.
That's about what MGM paid me.
Would you like some champagne, Mrs. Latham?
Oh, I don't think I should. Perhaps just half a glass.
Did you bring your granny here on a motorcycle?
Max.
Are you enjoying the play?
Oh, well, I am, but I think Nan would have preferred a musical.
I expect it's above my head.
I expect it's beneath mine.
That young man in the bed, is he sick or is he mad?
Both, dear. He's sick of the part and mad at his agent for making him do it.
He's going through withdrawal.
And who's the black man?
He sort of symbolizes death.
Really, I thought he was the chap's landlord.
Maxine Ursula.
I suppose it's reassuring to see a play one was not put up for and find it's a disaster.
Well, Malcolm read it for me, but didn't think it was right.
Oh, are you looking for something?
Aren't we all?
I just thought you'd given it all up.
I thought you had. And then last week you popped up on my television with 2 lines on Inspector Morse.
Bitch.
Couldn't resist it.
Oh, who is this?
That's Freddie. She works for me.
You work for Max? You must be a glutton for punishment.
I work with her, actually.
Excuse me, darling, I have to circulate. Malcolm, dear.
I've seen that face, haven't I?
We should say hello to Tony.
Who?
Tony Fleming, the producer.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. I wouldn't know what to say to him.
Well, I think it would be his last relevant play. When I saw him earlier in the week, he said he was going to do a revival of Mad Woman of Shire.
Oh, really? Who does he have in mind?
You didn't say?
Oh, we must have a word with him. That's the least we can do. Tony!
Oh, Max.
Ah, yes. Well done, darling.
Is it all right?
Extraordinary.
Oh, I didn't think it'd be your cup of tea, Max.
Oh, I think it's so daring. Wonderful symbolism for death. I'd love to share a few thoughts with you. Lunch?
Oh, not tomorrow, darling. I shall be here giving my car's notes.
Oh, of course. I'm sure you'll find a few trims. At 1, for example.
You're a wicked old tart.
Oh. Malcolm, I want you to follow up on this. Not tomorrow, though. He'll be too bruised by the reviews.
I've just remembered who she is. Didn't she used to be Ursula Blythe?
She still insists she is, dear.
Wasn't she married to that Australian actor in the 50s?
Oh, no. Ursula has never married. She bats for the other team.
She what?
She's a lesbian.
Oh.
Let's see each other, Max. It's been far too long.
Well, you know where I am.
I've never been to your country, but I've always wanted one of the carpets.
Hello, Max. I thought you'd be well tucked up by now.
I will say that since you've started cataloguing my life, things are a lot easier to find.
Hey, wait a minute. Was that a compliment?
Sit down and listen to this. Any shortcomings in the production are amply compensated in the performance of Maxine Chandler.
Oh, what's this?
Mad Woman of Shire, Stratford, Ontario, 1978. Avoiding the pitfalls of theatrical excess, she is congenitally funny and truly eccentric. And then there's some tedious stuff about the director.
So you're really serious about going up for this, then?
Why? Do you think I shouldn't?
Oh, no, I'm sure it'd be great. I mean, you go to the theatre 3 times a week, you might as well get paid for it.
Yes, but it has been a long time.
Well, that doesn't matter. You don't forget it, do you?
Well, it doesn't get easier. As a matter of fact, it gets harder. Because you have more to lose. You know, I mean, when you're young, you learn by failure. But when you're my age,
I'm sure you'd be brilliant, Max.
I would, wouldn't I?
I mean, you've done it before. I mean, look at that review.
Oh, well, that doesn't count. That was Canada.
Well, then do it here. Show them that you do count.
Oh, I'd love to. I want to be acclaimed and pursued and win awards and take it to Broadway.
Oh, can I come?
Of course you can, if you can afford it. But I want you to know that if I am blessed by success, I could become a lot more difficult to live with.
I find that very hard to believe, Max.
Oh, thank you so much, darling. I feel a lot better now. I'm going to have a brandy.
Well, good night, Max. Oh, and thanks for being so nice to my Nan. She was thrilled to meet you.
Oh, I'll always be in your grandmother's debt for that priceless remark. Malcolm and I laughed all through dinner, as did most of the restaurant.
Oh, you told everyone, did you?
I'm going to dine out on that for months. In the morning, send her some flowers. Okay. Better still, send her a carpet. Tony.
Ah, Max!
Sweet of you to come to me.
Please, the Savoy Grill's a treat. Months of rehearsals, nothing but coffee and sides. Oh, I ordered a drink. I didn't know what you wanted.
I don't drink, Tony.
Your usual, Miss Chandler.
Evian, please. I find one can't drink.
Excuse, please. You want the Evian and your usual?
Just the bloody Evian.
I find nobody drinks these days. They sit there with their Perriers and tell me how they wasted their lives. Truth is, they used to be delightful company, and now they're crushing bores.
Oh, well, I'm just off the sauce. While I'm in training, there's been some feelers for my availability.
Oh. I'm afraid the cast of my new play is soon going to be available.
Oh, darling, when I read your reviews, I bled for you. And that fellow in the mail, Taylor.
Tinker?
Well, he was slanderous. Yes, perhaps next time you should mount something a little less brave.
Do you think there's a public out there for Giraudoux? Or is he rather 60s?
Today, the plat du jour is...
Not now. Giraudoux. Oh, what an interesting idea. It's perfect timing.
Well, because I'm toying with the idea of Mad Woman of Shire.
Really? I did it, you know.
Well, you did? Well,
America. Some of my best reviews, in fact.
was this at Broadway?
One must be terribly careful that she doesn't come across as too theatrical. You know, she should be congenitally eccentric.
This, of course, is true. But you're doing something, you said.
Oh, nothing's in concrete, darling. You know showbiz. They're still haggling.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
I'm sorry, but it's important.
Well, it'll have to wait.
It can't.
Well, do you need privacy?
No, no, of course not, Tony. This is Miss Latham, my person.
Somebody's died. And the press have been on for a quote or something.
Who died?
An actress, Pauline Blakeney.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, how dreadful.
ITN have been on as well, wondering if you could do something for the news tonight.
Oh, I had no idea she was ill.
Oh, I'm sorry to bring such bad news. I mean, she was a friend of yours, wasn't she?
A contemporary.
They could have a crew round by 2.
I couldn't possibly be ready by 2. We haven't even ordered yet.
Oh, don't worry about me, Max. This is much more important. I mean, you've got to do it, haven't you?
How best do you remember Pauline Blakeney?
Oh, I should have changed. You can't tell where the sofa ends and I begin. On stage, I think, which is where she belonged. She was a very distinctive actress. She took risks, but was never afraid of failure.
What I have most admired about Pauline was her infectious joie de vivre.
Did you like Pauline?
Why?
Because, I mean, everything you said could be taken two ways. Like, she belonged on stage. Sounds like she didn't belong anywhere else. And wasn't afraid of failure does imply that she was no stranger to it.
Look, we were colleagues. I mean, in our profession, that doesn't necessarily mean you're chums. For years, Pauline and I chased the same parts and the same men. I loathed Pauline Blakeney. And Pauline Blakeney loathed me. That's why it doesn't surprise me in the least that when I'm angling for a part, she upstages me by dying.
Horse, D Barons, down in
I'd
the
like to put a pony on chrome yellow in the 3:30. And have you got a result for Mayor?
In fact, he got the second one on
Oh,
the steward's
dear.
inquiry. He was second.
Max!
But at one before that, David doesn't
I
think
was
he's all
buying
that
my
good,
health food
but,
in Neil's yard, and I thought I would
thought he
drop
might not be
by
quite
to
up
see how
to
my
this
career
class,
was
but I
going
don't
on.
know. I don't think this class is all that high.
Or is it
I think
on
Gough
hold
has got
till
a good
after the
chance,
flat
and I hope
season?
he'll give Huel a more comfortable ride than he
You
had in
turn
the
this
last
dancing
number 8.
off.
Not with that, it's my calculator. Would you like some coffee?
No, I want to know how things are progressing on the Shio front.
Ah, I spoke to Tony a couple of days ago.
And?
He said it's a thought, obviously.
But?
But he had talked to Gareth Hope.
Why?
Well, he's one of the last people who directed you.
So?
So Gareth told him that, that you could be difficult.
Me?
You have that reputation, Max.
Well, he can't take the word of Gareth Hope. He's a vicious old queen who hates women. He had me in tears.
You, Max?
Yes. I'll speak to Tony myself.
No. The timing's not right. You heard the savage news about Pauline?
Pauline is dead. What could be more savage than that?
It's worse than that.
She's not dead?
It's the circumstances. We all assumed that her second husband was rich and she lived in some luxury.
And so she did. They had a villa on the Amalfi Coast. I don't know, he invented the windshield wiper or something and made a fortune.
Yes, well, apparently.
Probably made another fortune when he invented the second one.
He left her without a bean. She spent her last 6 months in a public cancer ward in a hospital in Naples.
Why did no one know?
She never wrote to anyone.
Not even you, Malcolm. You were her agent for years.
I don't know why. Too proud, too stubborn. Anyhow, there's the memorial service at the Actors' Church tomorrow.
I'll send flowers.
They'd like you to do a eulogy.
Oh.
And Dickie's going to say a few words, and Carl's reciting one of her favorite poems.
I'm not sure I can do that.
Come on, Max. Nobody knew her better.
No, Malcolm, I just think it would be inappropriate.
Hello? Okay, yep, I'll tell her. Bye. Max? Are you all right, Max?
I have a headache.
Well, only Ursula Blythe's on her way up. She said you're expecting her.
Oh, God, I can't face her. Tell her I'm sick. No, tell her I'm out. Say something came up.
Well, like what?
Tell her I'm having a costume fitting. Then she'll think I'm working. That'll really tick her off.
Right. Oh, hello. Do come in. Max has had to go out, I'm afraid.
But I was expected.
I know. I mean, she's absolutely crushed, but they rang at the last moment.
Who?
Oh, dunno. Something to do with the film.
Well done, Max. Let's hope it leads to something for once.
Would you like a cup of tea or something, Miss Blythe?
Ursula. And you are...
Freddie.
Some mineral water, Freddie, if you have some.
Yep.
Nice to see that Max isn't depriving herself. Makes my bijou little residence in Putney seem like a slum, which, of course, it was before I tarted it up.
Yeah, she likes it here. Says it's handy for the shops.
I always imagined hotel life would be rather lonely. But then, of course, she's got you.
I work here.
Yes, but I understand you also live with Max.
No.
I thought you did.
No, I work here and I have a room.
I'm sure I understand. Who was that older woman you were with at the theatre the other night?
Oh, that was my Nan. She was thrilled to meet you.
She made a remark which has puzzled me all week.
She thought you were somebody else.
She was thrilled to meet me, but she thought I was somebody else?
Well, I put her right in the taxi, and she was even more thrilled.
Max isn't seriously touting herself for this.
Yes, I think so. Why not?
She's quite wrong for it.
She's done it before. She got brilliant reviews.
Where was this?
In Canada.
Ah.
Are you up for it too, then?
Tony's talked to my agent.
Max isn't desperate, you know. She's got a lot of things bubbling.
You're very loyal. Max is lucky to have you.
Well, she'll be sorry to have missed you.
Oh, look! Max has forgotten her handbag. She'll be lost without her credit cards. Tell her I'll see her at the memorial service tomorrow. And tell her not to be a stranger. There aren't many of us left.
If Ursula Blythe thinks she can play Shio, she's 2 sandwiches short of a picnic.
Well, thanks a lot for dropping me in that.
Oh, you're very good at holding the fort.
Or in this case, putting my finger in the dike.
Very wicked. Can't wait to tell Malcolm.
Oh, he rung, by the way.
He did he? I'll bet he mentioned the memorial service tomorrow, and I'll bet he said, find out what's eating Madam.
Yes, all right, he did. So what is eating Madam?
Freddie, I know you think that I'm selfish and demanding and self-absorbed. Well, I'm afraid that comes with the territory of being an actress. You spend your life guarding against looking foolish and growing old. Pauline knew that as well as I do. Didn't help her at all. She shouldn't have gone the way she did. She's frightened the hell out of me, and I don't think I can forgive her.
Do you think about your own death a lot, Max?
I used to, when my 3rd husband was driving.
Well, it seems to me that you and Pauline weren't afraid of living. Hey, should I write that down? Because it might be a really good way to kick it off.
I am not doing a eulogy. Death does not automatically confer sainthood. I can't bathe all my memories of Pauline in an amber glow.
Do you know what I reckon? I reckon you and Pauline enjoyed hating each other, and you're going to miss her.
If I stand up there tomorrow, all of our friends will think I'm a hypocrite.
Huh, well, that's never been a problem before. I mean, the other night at the theatre, you slagged off that play, and the minute you heard the producer was doing something you fancied, you kissed his Gucci loafers.
Well, that's different. That's called professional survival. Pauline understood that.
Yeah, well, what about professional respect? I would have thought you would understand that.
Hello, Malcolm.
Morning, Tony. Pretty good turnout.
Yes, yes. All professions here. And they'll all be commiserating about my play.
Yes, I heard it was coming off. Sorry.
You coming in?
In a minute. Max has left me to give the eulogy. I'm only used to speaking at rugby club dinners. I don't think my jokes will play to this lot. See you after this, Frederick? I shall need it. Yeah. Max!
You don't think the hat's too Zorro, do you?
No! Wonderful!
In 1966, Pauline and I visited Australia with the Ariel Touring Company. We did Heartbreak House. She was Ariadne, and I was Hesione, the more beautiful sister. Shaw's words, not mine. I hadn't been on the stage for some time. Pauline never let me forget it. I'd been making movies in Hollywood, as I frequently reminded her. I learned many things from Pauline. The most important was, never turn your back. Some of us believe that her ambition cost her friends, family, even husbands. I prefer to think that that attitude was a measure of her tenacity and courage in a profession that makes strenuous demands on both. Someday, and I hope it's not too soon, I will be happy to be remembered as you remember Pauline. Because what we are left with in the end is the indelible image of her talent.
Smashing, Max. Really.
Oh, Malcolm, do blow your nose. It's so very unattractive.
Oh, dear heart. A little emotional.
It was so good, Max. Brilliant.
Well, in the words of George Burns, acting is all about honesty. If you can fake that, you've got it made.
I prefer to believe you meant every word.
Either way, it wasn't wasted.
What do you mean?
Well, I couldn't help noticing Tony Fleming in the front row of the stalls, and I thought to myself, if this performance doesn't knock the old fruit's socks off, nothing will.
Max, please. That was a eulogy, not an audition.
Oh. Pauline would have done the same thing if it was my postmortem. And I would have applauded her for it. Lunch?
You say either, and I say either.
I say neither, and you say neither. Either,
Either,
neither.
neither.
Let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole
Toby's cycling team has some new surprise members as Anthony and Willie dedicate themselves to the task. Upwardly Mobile is next on WTN.
So if I like pajamas and you like pajamas,
I wear pajamas and give up pajamas. For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off.